We begin over a thin, undulating bridge suspended over foamy river rapids. It's monsoon season, and the river looks swollen, ornery that it's breached its usual banks. I stare down at my boots and toe the gaps in the metal. I think of the email my mother sent me 2 days before I flew out of New York, with just the words, "See attached," in the body. From the Chicago Tribune, August 12, 2012. The government has issued a ban on independent trekking after a series of grisly headlines involving women trekking alone. The body of a 24-year-old Belgian woman was found decapitated in the Langtang region in June, and an American woman who went trekking alone has been missing since 2010. I don't know what is on the list of things my mom is concerned about when I'm traveling alone, but apparently beheading is one of them. But I'm not alone. I'm with Saru, a 29-year-old guide, one of the only female guides to exist in the entire country. Born of low caste, Saru was from a poor blacksmithing family in the lowlands near Pokhara. She's an experienced mountaineer and trekking guide in a culture that forces many women to stay in the home, often as one of 2 wives to a single man. She is the kind of woman who smiles at me when something goes wrong, and during our first lunch asks me if I've ever had sex. She hasn't, because she's not married, but an Australian woman told her once that she should try it before she buys it. The first few days of walking are humid and hot. Clouds that sweep over the green mountains inevitably release rain showers, turning the path into a river. I see people working in the multi-tiered rice paddies lined with soybean plants, corn, and newly planted millet. Fresh mudslides obscure the trail, and I look up to see innumerable waterfalls fleeing the mountaintops. In the evenings, I sit under the corrugated roof of a tea house, listening to the rain and the roosters crowing, while I sip hot, sweet tea brewed with fresh milk and munch on tart Asian pears. I wake to the unmistakable sound of eggs frying in oil, and I eat while watching butterflies land on flowers next to hairy caterpillars as fat as sausages. We share the path with goats, oxen, chicken, and children walking to school in blue uniforms. I flick off fattened leeches that suck blood through my socks and watch them clumsily walk away, end over end. Go, my children, I think. The ecosystem shifts drastically from day to day due to the extreme altitude changes and the rain shadow of the tallest mountains in the world. I feel like I'm a hero running through zones of a video game, humming a soundtrack to battles fought in my head. The varying landscapes have a way of reminding me of every place I've ever been, which is beautiful and haunting. We ascend into temperate woodlands. Our way is lined with tall trees, lichen-covered rocks, orchards, and wildflowers. We drink ginger tea and snack on tart, wild berries. The evenings are cooler, and I sit around a kitchen fire with a room full of women peeling hot, steamed potatoes and dipping them in spicy pepper sauce. I watch a village tailor sew a pink-flowered frock when I'm offered a cup of sweet masala tea. We stare into a glacial lake brimming with milky blue water. One night, Saru shares her story of summiting Annapurna 4, the first time this was done by a team of women. One of the tallest mountains in the world, Annapurna 4's ascent is more technically challenging than that of Everest. A teammate breaks through the ice and falls into a crevasse. They hoist her out by rope. A storm blows in a mere 150 meters from the summit, so they must descend to base camp. They reach the pass on the second attempt. Still celebrating, they are struck by an avalanche. All 8 people are swept away, not knowing if anyone else survived. The guide calls the trekking company with a satellite phone to report that no one has been found. The media is alerted, and TV news reports that the team is lost and presumed dead. Saru's father demands that the body of his daughter be found and returned. All 8 team members still lived. Some gear was missing, and 2 were injured. which slowed the descent to 4 days instead of 3. On the last day, they had no food. I shovel more spaghetti covered with yak cheese into my mouth. On the trail to Pisang, pine trees whisper secrets to bright pink fields of flowering buckwheat. The brisk air smells of burning juniper, and I smell of peppermint soap. I sit on a monastery wall and look skyward. The tallest peaks are all obscured by clouds. As the wind shifts, I catch glimpses of snow and rock, like a feathered fan dancer revealing flashes of her seductive skin. I spend another night dreaming about people I've dated. My brain is going through a curious Rolodex. I wake to Saru banging on my door, and I emerge into a spectacular view. Every peak is cloudless and radiant in the morning sunlight. The first cloudless morning in 16 days, we're told. We are in the highlands now, treeless and speckled with an incredible array of wildflowers, as colorful and bright as the Tibetan peace flags that flutter overhead. Bells on the necks of mules chime dissonant chords. The owner of a lodge tips his hat to me. He looks like if Mr. Miyagi were an overweight cowboy. We reach high camp after a steep ascent up a wet slope. My hood drips cold rain into my mouth every time I look up. The only plants are small patches of bright grass that grow between the gray rock. We see a herd of endangered blue sheep, which are neither blue nor look like sheep. Tomorrow morning we hike the pass, but tonight we drink, laugh, share chocolate, and play cards with the other people sleeping at the high camp tonight. A German couple, a Spaniard, an Englishman, and a couple of Nepali who run the place. The rain turns to snow through the night, and I dream that I'm skydiving and have a romantic rendezvous with my instructor. We wake at 4:30 a.m. and hike towards the pass by flashlight. Behind us is the ecstasy of the dawn breaking over the snowy peaks into the flushed sky. We pause every 50 meters or so to contemplate this natural spectacle, the world around us dissolved into its simplest components: mud, rock, ice, and sky. The only sounds I hear are my labored breathing and the rush of wind past my ears, but my mind is filled with the glorious music of the morning, the euphony of your soul singing the tune of the natural world, your heart beating in sync with the metronome of the universe. And then there is a loud crack, followed by another, and a rumble like the belly of a hungry giant, and we watch a massive chunk of glacier break off in the warming sun and tumble down the distant slope. And I feel like a small human again. We reach the pass at 5,416 meters, nearly 17,800 feet, where the oxygen content of the air is 50% of that in my East Village apartment. We huddle in a small hut and drink tea before beginning a steep ascent into the Mustang province. The fog is thick, and the trail is lifeless. Slowly, grass begins to peek out from the rocks, and small bushes begin to grow, and in what seems like suddenly we are in the desert, walking a dusty road past bleached boulders, past beige and burnt orange villages along muddy rivers where fruit trees grow in cultivated oases, past sandy cliffs carved with intricate patterns from water and wind. The deeper we hike into the valley, the wilder the wind becomes, until my hair whips at my face and dust devils swirl along the edges of the road. In Kagbeni we stay at a lodge run by a family of beautiful, proud Tibetan women. They chat and laugh non-stop while we sip black tea mixed with butter and salt. I play with their new black and white kitten, and they garnish my meals with little flowers sculpted from carrots and radishes. We are walking in a riverbed, and Saru hands me a fossil she finds among the stones. These are sacred to the Nepali people, she explains. Sometimes you should keep it separate from you, in a clean place. In Nepali culture, women shouldn't handle sacred objects when they're bleeding. I put it in my front pocket, but I'm disappointed that I'll miss my nightly ritual of dousing fossils in blood. We board a mountain bus, which gets stuck in the mud. Night has fallen, and 12 of us walk in the moonless dark by flashlight along the treacherous cliffside road. The nearest village is still 2 hours away, but we are in high spirits. The next morning I catch a glimpse of myself in the driver's mirror, and for a moment I see my mother's face. Her round blue eyes, hair a mess of soft waves. I wish that she were walking with me. Though, I suppose there are some paths you're supposed to walk alone. We bounce like rag dolls along the rocky road, the tassels glued to the ceiling, dancing to a mountain tune. I smile and accept blessings from all 5 Buddhas glued to the dashboard. There was a girl whose tune was fair. Oh, the wind and the rain, who breathed like the mountain air. Oh, the wind and the rain. She walked to the river and stared down. Oh, the wind and the rain, and left all her fears to drown in the cold wind and the rain. She felt a love in her breastbone. Oh, the wind and the rain, and in the sky